Hello and welcome to your New Jersey from number 18 Boutique in Summit. I'm Lisa Marie Faldo. On today's show, we learn why New Jersey is the place to do business in the country from some of the Garden State's biggest leaders. We also meet the women behind Let's Talk About the Journey to Motherhood and learn more about the Let's Talk mission. But first, back at the studio, I chatted with actress and comedian Lisa Ann Walter, who currently stars on ABC's hit series Abbott Elementary.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thrilled to come back home to Jersey.
You
See
know,
all the people.
I didn't realize that you had such strong Jersey roots. Before we get into your shows, just tell our audience about your Jersey upbringing here.
Lisa Marie and I were talking before we started rolling, and for the purposes of this interview, she's going to be Lisa Marie and I'm Lisa Ann, because we only, as Italian girls from the Northeast, there's like 8 names we can choose from. And so we're the both sides of the Lisa Ann, Lisa Marie spectrum. I lived in Jersey for 11 years. My parents were both from New York, and my dad for work had to move down to DC. But when I finished college, I moved to Jersey City, then Summit, then West Caldwell for about a year and a half. And then I got pregnant with my second child and we bought a house in Summit. And I used to work all the clubs all over Jersey. It was my home base.
And you had such close proximity to New York too. So you really could then go into the city across the river and cut your chops there.
That's exactly right. I would go and work the showcase rooms in New York, like Stand Up New York and the Comic Strip and Caroline's when it was still a club. People remember both the one down at the Seaport and then when it moved to Midtown, and all of the clubs I used to work, the Cellar downtown. You would just go, and then I got offers to go star in TV shows. So then I went to LA. It's different.
It's so different. I can't imagine being a Jersey girl in LA. I know the food is definitely not the same, but also the vibe.
No, it is not. It is not the same, except at my house. On Sunday night, there's red sauce cooking every week.
I love it.
I actually bring it to work. I bring it into Abbott Elementary. Quinta Brunson, who is our fearless leader and the star of the show, loves my meatballs. So quite regularly, I'll bring a big pot of meatballs in, or baked ziti for the writing staff. I went on Jimmy Kimmel about a month ago or something like that, and I brought him brajol because he was complaining you can't get basket cheese in all of LA. If people who don't know what that is, basket cheese is what you use when you're making like Easter pie. You know what it is, Lisa.
Of course
Marie.
I know. Oh, yeah, definitely.
My Eugene, my friend.
But,
so I had to learn how to make basket cheese. I'm over here like my Aunt Yola with the apron tied right under my boobs, making basket cheese at home. Like I'm supposed to be a TV star. What the hell is happening here?
Yeah, but that's what makes you, I think, so successful, because you are so down to earth. I don't know too many Hollywood stars bringing brajol to a late night talk show set.
You got to feed people.
You got to feed people. Well, that's how you get to people's hearts, right? Through their stomach, right? I think that's the quote.
100%.
And
or when you're Sicilian, you go right through the chest.
Yeah. Are you Sicilian? Because I'm half Sicilian myself.
Yes, I am.
Lisa Ann, I'm so happy we're doing this interview today, because for days, all I can think about, even though it was Sunday night, the roast of Tom Brady, I feel like comedy is back after that, because that was 3 hours of unhinged wildness. Did you watch?
No, because I was doing a show last night, a fundraiser benefit as part of the Netflix is a Joke festival that they're doing out here in LA. So I was at the club doing sound check, and then I was doing the show, and I didn't get to watch it. And I'm bummed because it was live, and I'm afraid if something really crazy happened, they're going to cut it out. I'm going to watch it, but I don't want them to cut out any of the good stuff. Who was the best? Who was the best roaster?
Tony Handcliffe.
Oh, okay.
Killing Tony. I had tears. Even the football players were great. I don't know if they got coached prior. Bill Belichick. Awesome. I mean, he was the butt of a ton of jokes. Nikki Glazer, she was awesome.
Oh,
Kevin Hart obviously did a great job. The roast master, Jeff Ross.
Yeah, I just saw him at Comedy Store on Monday, and he was going over his set. And I know him. This is a little Jeff Ross story. we used to stand up together in the city all the time. And one night, the Boston Comedy Club downtown had a Christmas party, and he got show wasted, like beyond. Jeff doesn't drink that much. That night, he really was tying one on. I drove him. I wouldn't let him drive. I took his keys. I said, "I'm driving you home." I did not realize he lived way out in Jersey. I mean, I'm like, I live in Jersey. It's not a big deal. An hour and a half later, I'm like, what are you, a farmer? Like, it was crazy.
Where did he
But
live in Jersey? Like 78 West, like out there?
yeah, that's where I was anyway. But he was funny. Now to this day, I tell him, "You're alive thanks to me. So you owe it all to me." Gronk, by the way, here's a little story. He came and had Easter at my house because
Oh,
the first thing he ever did on camera, I was in. It was a little short movie, and I was in it. Nobody wanted to direct him because they were like, "Oh, he's Gronk," and I'm like, the guy's not hitting his mark. Poor guy doesn't know what he's doing. So I just started steering him by his belt buckle. I'm like, "I'll take care of it. Don't worry." And he's
oh,
like, "Well, how do I know when to leave?" I said, "I'll make you leave. Don't worry." And so
oh.
we got to be friendly. And that weekend was Easter, and I knew he was out working and he was going to go home. So I said, "You and your brother have somewhere to go on Easter?" He said, "No." I said, "Come to the house." So he comes over with four football player friends from Arizona, from when he went to school there. All of them, I swear to you, no Italian has ever made not enough food for Easter or any holiday. I made a ham, a lamb, and two baked ziti, and I was almost entirely wiped out.
Oh, I can. Oh, and they
They,
wiped you out in 2 seconds, I'm
that's what
sure.
I'm saying. They were like, and so I gave them. I packed up the rest of the food. I said, "Just take it.
Yeah.
Just take the rest."
Well, I want to congratulate you because you keep mentioning Abbott Elementary. You just
Yeah.
wrapped production on season 3. You got picked up, right, for season
Oh
4.
yeah, we got picked up right after the first episode aired this past season. They knew that we were one of the ones that people keep coming to, and like more and more people. I can't tell you the number of people that I meet at airports and everywhere. This red hair is like a beacon, and people just will come up and say, "It's the only show I watch with my kids." I had one mom tell me that she was not having a great relationship with her daughter when she was in high school, and that happens, especially with girls sometimes. And she went away to college, and they started bonding over Abbott and watching it together over the phone. And I was like, that's why Quinta made this show, really, so that families had something and it's not like a kiddie show. Like, it's not cloying. Grown-ups can watch it and honestly laugh.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't brag about it. I would just tell my people I've got a steady job. That's all you need to know. But I brag about it because I truly am proud to be part of the show.
You should brag about it. Come on, you're living such a dream, right? You have a
Yeah.
major show on a major network. I mean, flaunt it, baby. I know I would if I were
Heck
you.
yeah.
Lisa Ann, this was so much fun. I just enjoy
Thanks,
talking
honey.
to, I mean, a rock star Italian, a rock star mom, and obviously entertainer. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now I got to go back and finish the ricotta cake I started making this morning.
Ah, well, next time you're in Jersey, let me know so I can try a piece.
I will, but when I come to Jersey, I'll call it ricotta.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Lisa Ann. We're here at the Crystal Plaza in Livingston, learning about the power of doing business here in the Garden State and networking with Northbound Magazine. You are the most entrepreneurial of the entrepreneurs here in the Garden State, so you know the power of networking, and I guess that's what births tonight.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up. The reason why we're here is because I haven't done networking event like this since COVID, okay? It's about the connectivity. Yes, do we have these things in order to reconnect with the people that we know and try to get more business and things like that? Of course. I am more excited though about when somebody says to me, "Vic, I came to your event, I saw somebody or met somebody, and now we're doing business." That's what I'm interested in, okay? That's the stuff that makes me happier than yeah, I like to make money, but that's the stuff that makes me happier than anything else is when other people connect.
Tonight also has another purpose for you that's near and dear to your heart. You're relaunching Northbound Magazine.
Hey, I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes, Northbound Magazine will be coming back. It's been out for a while. Actually, stopped it at the same time. It's now going to be out. We're going to be putting it out in September. In June, we're going to be putting out the Newark Visitors Guide, the official Newark Visitors Guide for the city of Newark. So 2 publications are going to be coming out this year.
That's amazing. Why Newark?
You know, a long time ago, it was funny. A long time ago, I saw Newark as being a place, aside from, I mean, we went to school there and things like that, but I saw Newark as being one of those cities that wasn't being paid as attention to. It's got great bones, it's got great interior, it's got great things going on, and not a lot of people don't know about it. So I'm like, you know what? It's time for us to do something that highlights the good stuff and not let the outside folks talk about anything. Every city's got bad stuff. That's not what we're about. Let's talk about the good stuff, because there's a ton of it.
Finally, there's so many big New Jersey businesses here. Such great brands. Anybody you want to shout out that made tonight possible?
Well, actually, the people that made, who made it possible, but I can't do all, that's a longer list. But certainly Rutgers, Blue Cross Blue Shield, RWJ Barnabas, Academy Bus, and they were new. They came in new. They hadn't been a sponsor before. And then we have several others, but those are probably like the bigger brands and the bigger names that people would know. I'm really glad that everybody could come. We had a nice vendor showcase first, and now everybody's moving into the main room for a little bit more intimate networking, live entertainment, you know, music and food and open bar and all that.
Now, tonight is all about networking and the power of doing business here in the Garden State. Why is this the place to be?
Well, first of all, it's located in a really great place. This is a beautiful facility. He also has done this for many years, so this is on everybody's calendar, so they know. And so some real influential people come here all the time. So it's just a great place to really see New Jersey's leaders.
What brought you out here tonight?
Well, really, we want to network. Right now, we're big in the airline industry. We cover passenger services, security. We do a little bit of construction, facility maintenance. Primarily, we focus on airport operations, and we really want to branch out and try to get outside that industry.
Why is doing business in New Jersey so awesome?
I think just people are willing to talk. That's the big thing, right? No one's really sitting in the corner. Everybody's ready to meet, rub elbows. That's a beautiful thing as well. Also, I think there's this old school thing with Jersey where everybody likes to kind of rely on the people that they know, really dig into what friends, friends of friends can do for each other. I think that's a beautiful thing.
So I am beyond obsessed with this book and everything you just told me, but let's get to why we are here tonight.
Why we are here today is because I really truly believe when you have a platform, you should do whatever you can to sprinkle it forward. This book is to help so many little souls that are dealing with adult life crises, and I think it's been an amazing journey, and it's something that is helpful for them to start controlling their mindset at a younger age, as opposed to waiting till they get older, and then sometimes it's too late. So it's a way that they capture their magic, and it gives them deep breathing exercises so that they can kind of control their environment they're in.
So how did you come together with Vic?
So both of us are in the chamber, and this is a book that he really truly stands by. So he wanted me to be a part of this event so that I could push this book forward.
Well, being at events like this, networking, showing the book face to face, that has to be so helpful.
It honestly, it's been a blessing. Every time I do another event, I met with some amazing people, and I get to sprinkle the magic forward.
The energy in this room right now is ridiculous. Over 500, almost 600 people. That's a quick head count. Just the ability to not just to network, but to have meaningful conversations with different industries. You can't beat it.
What is Swahili Village?
Swahili Village is a Kenyan restaurant where you can get authentic Kenyan and East African cuisine. But outside that, you could also experience other aspects of the African cultures whenever you visit. Whether you come in the morning for breakfast, whether you come in the afternoon for lunch, whether you come after work, or whether you come for dinner during the week or on weekends, we have the African music. It's the only place you could get authentic African cuisine, African music, served by a majority of diverse African employees from different parts of the continent, as well as different parts of America. and just leave feeling like you teleported into the motherland. So anytime you come and leave, we came over here with a table of samosas only, and everyone that took a samosa and read our brochure that we bought feels like they got a whole East African lesson and lecture.
That is so amazing. I want to try your food.
Oh, there's some samosas over there, and next time you come to the restaurant, just ask for Ike, and I'll make sure they take care of you.
Obviously, tonight has been very successful because you've done a ton of networking, it sounds like.
Tonight's been very successful. One of the best things I love about tonight is Newark is a very, very communal area. New Jersey is a very, very communal state. And coming around here and meeting very, very like-minded individuals. But even if a lot of them I do know already and I've networked with and known over the past few years, just seeing them again in this environment where we're all trying to collaborate and see how we can do things together, that's what makes this event very unique. This is one of the very few cities that many people within the same industry can actually communicate and instead of like just thinking of competing. Yeah.
I love that insight. I don't think anyone has ever given me that insight into Newark, as from the restaurant business owner end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk women's health and wellness. A movement started by two-time breast cancer survivor Deb Belfato is here at number 18 Boutique and Summit to talk about the journey to motherhood. Let's learn about all of the options available to Garden State women to achieve their dreams.
Tonight, we are celebrating women in their fertility journey, and I'm excited to be here to open up with the lead meditation just to enhance people's intention for being here and being present. And we don't do that enough.
And you've had your own fertility journey, so I'm sure this event means a lot to you.
It does mean a lot to me because I feel like being a voice for women in a way that I didn't have when I was going through my stuff is so important. And the more vulnerable we are and the more we share our own stories, the more people feel heard and seen.
Tell us what brought you out here tonight.
So Deb Belfato, I've known for a long time, also a breast cancer survivor, started Let's Talk Women's Wellness, and I spoke at their inaugural event 2 years ago. I led a meditation, and I did a little speech and told about my story. So she asked me to come tonight and moderate this really important panel on fertility for all these beautiful women tonight. So I'm excited to really delve into a subject that's being more spoken about publicly, that quite often was considered taboo. So yeah, I'm here to talk and share stories and be in community.
Just briefly, I know you're going to talk about it tonight, but what is your story?
Oh gosh, how much time do you have? I was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 2, at age 38, in the middle of the pandemic. I had just started dating a man named James Bentley. We were in love, and we were walking down a path that we walk down every night during sunset with our dog, and I found a lump under my armpit. That led to my breast cancer diagnosis. They did a double mastectomy, and then they said, you're going to have to do chemotherapy, which is going to affect your fertility. And that really was like the world sort of stopped for a moment. They let me do 2 rounds of IVF. We decided to make embryos, even though we were just dating, but in love. And we got 1 embryo. And 1 fair quality embryo is what they said. And then I went into chemotherapy, 8 rounds, 28 rounds of radiation, an oophorectomy, so I'd have my ovaries out because I have a genetic mutation. And 2 years later, we started looking for a surrogate. Like once I got through everything, once I knew I wouldn't be able to try and carry my embryo, and found this surrogate named Whitney who ended up being our angel and defying all odds because they said it was, well, they told me after the fact, a 20% chance that my chance would be here. And it's gonna make me cry. He's 5 months old and about to have my first Mother's Day. So, yeah.
I mean, and Whitney, your surrogate. Surrogates are literally angels and saints, and I mean, there is nothing more selfless.
Yeah, she is. She's in Richmond, Virginia. We call her Auntie Whitney. We're taking chance to get baptized by her minister in June with her children because they've never been baptized. So they're all going to be baptized together. We now have a big extended family. We talk, they send him presents like every month. I mean, it's truly special. And I know it's not always that way, but it's been really great to share this side of surrogacy because I think a lot of times surrogacy is portrayed as something negative, that a woman is coerced into. I mean, the comments I got on my Instagram for my surrogacy diaries were wacky. But, I'm glad that we were able to show how beautiful it can be.
Thank you for having us here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I always love coming here. And for something like this, it's just extraordinary.
So this is like turned out to be so much more than a boutique. It's like a great space to hold space for conversations that are hard, and we're trying to do more and more of this. So this is really what's the most meaningful thing to us, to be able to host things like this.
And the journey to motherhood, I know you're going to be talking about your own journey, and you had one. You had a big one. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I spent 10 years of my life doing IVF. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I'm very blessed to have. I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. I lost a baby in between that was also IVF. I did 3 failed rounds with no hopes before I switched doctors, went to the city, finally got pregnant, but when I started, I'm 43 now, I started at 33 and no one was really talking about it. It was sort of like still very taboo, but the more and more I spoke about it and started to talk to people about it, everyone has a story, and like I think it's something that women really need to talk about and not gatekeep if they're comfortable with,
Well, I saw a statistic before filming here. 2 million women in New Jersey are dealing with fertility issues. And I think to your point, people are waiting longer. The environment, the food, there's so many factors. And it's something to be ashamed of. You used to have to keep it a secret. I had a miscarriage. Now you could be out in the open with everything.
Right. Which I think is like, you should mourn collectively and like, you shouldn't have to hide your pain. It's not anything to be ashamed of, and if you're comfortable talking about it, I think it can really, you can find community and you can find closure and you can move on faster,
You have a great community spot here in Summit.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
We're talking about women's health. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I've been a fertility doctor for over 30 years. And right now, women's health is at risk in the United States. And we're in New Jersey. We're very lucky because things are pretty good here, but maternal mortality is rising. Access to fertility care is still very difficult. And of course, we have this politicization of medical care, especially for pregnant women in the United States, because of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. And we want to empower women to be able to protect themselves and advocate for themselves as they travel through the healthcare journey.
You hit on something. I have 2 babies. So why is that rate getting higher and higher? You would think with the advancements in technology and care, we shouldn't be losing people during childbirth.
No, I feel like we have the knowledge and the know-how and the science to be able to do it. What seems to be at risk is money, access, insurance, education, awareness, and unfortunately, a lot of these laws that have been passed since the Dobbs decision that are basically interfering with doctors' abilities to provide appropriate health care to their patients.
So tonight, what is it that you want people to come away with?
So I think it's upsetting when you hear all these headlines about maternal mortality rising, but the good news is that by, just talking with people, coming here in person, we do a little shopping, have a little bites and something to drink, but we can one-on-one or in groups learn how to advocate for ourselves and for our families to keep our health safe. So I think a lot of it is just about being aware and being educated. And yes, our healthcare system is difficult to navigate. So the more that you know about how to speak up and how to talk with your doctors, the better off you're going to be.
This is Women for Women, women about women, women that deeply care about one another. And every single person here, whether they know each other or not, has each other's back because they showed up. We're here to educate, to inform, and to support one another through these wild journeys that women have to take to become a mom. And there's nothing better, as far as I'm concerned. It's not for everybody, but being a mom is my greatest joy, my hardest job, and the most important magnificent, fulfilling job that I could ever imagine. And I want that for all women.
And the best part about being a mom, you have a very good chance, hopefully, of being a grandma, which I know you love.
Yippee!
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.